The Killing of Two Lovers opens with an excellent scene that immediately sets the tone for the entire film. It begins with our main character David standing over the sleeping figures of his wife and another man, gun in hand and aimed at the couple. While David doesn't pull the trigger and instead leaves the house and jogs back down the road to his father's place where he's moved into, knowing that he is capable of coming this close to this action is all we need to know about him. He's a man going through a trial separation from his wife, whom the two of which are high school sweethearts that had their first child early. He's desperate to get his wife back and reclaim his spot in the family. He's also resentful that she's currently seeing someone so soon after starting the separation, feeling so hurt and neglected to the point where he's contemplated and even to an extent acted on committing a double murder. The Killing of Two Lovers was written and directed and edited by Robert Machoian, which is his first time directing a feature film solo, as his previous three films, When She Runs, God Bless the Child, and 40 Years from Yesterday were co-directed by Rodrigo Ojeda Beck, and I think flying solo suits him, as Two Lovers showcases his skill behind the camera. The film is framed in a 1:37:1 aspect ratio with bars on the sides of the screen, which serves as a greater purpose than just looking like an independent student film. It works as a glimpse into the mind of David. The cramped framing creates a claustrophobic feeling that surrounds him. He feels the metaphorical walls closing inwards, causing his resentment and anger towards his wife to surface. He feels trapped in the situation that wasn't of his own doing, and like a frightened animal, he's trying to fight his way out without knowing the best way to proceed. He's attempting to figure it out as he goes, and for anyone who has gone through something similar can attest, it's a period of confusion and turmoil. It ultimately puts us right next to David and Nikki during their arguments, and the camera never moves away from them. We experience it like a silent third party. The aspect ratio also functions as a window into the lives of families experiencing the breakdown of their own marriage. In a way, it's a portrait of an all too common family dynamic. The love once exhibited between parents fades, which always leaves the parties both dissatisfied and angry, whilst throwing their children into the mix, becoming an unintended casualty. The younger three sons of David and Nikki are jovial and high in spirits, as they're doing what kids do. They spend their days at school playing and learning, blissfully unaware that their parents' marriage is crumbling around them, while on the opposite end of the spectrum, their eldest daughter, Jess, harbors clear resentment towards both her mother and her father. Jess is caught in an internal tug-of-war between her parents because she loves them both dearly, but she feels her mother is cheating on her father despite seeing other people is what the two of them agreed upon, and she's mad at her father for not fighting hard enough for his family. Her way of life has been disrupted, and she wants things to become normal again. The performances almost feel like non-acting, like the director gave the kids and David a rough outline and just let them talk while recording. A lot of the dialogue shared between David and his children feels genuine, as if a conversation just happened to be caught on film, which I liked. It's hard to get children to act well in any capacity, let alone have it become believable. The highlight performance is from Clayne Crawford as David. He does a great job trying to walk the fine line between a man holding the facade of a tough exterior while simultaneously being scared and entirely unsure of his new way of life. He's trying to juggle a failing marriage, his work, his sick father, and his children all at the same time, and he's failing. I began this review with a brief summary of the opening scene, and with that accompanying The Killing of Two Lovers title, there's obviously a tense and dreadful atmosphere that hangs over the film that continues to simmer in the background. Seeing David bloody his knuckles and take practice shots at a martial arts dummy with the same pistol seen in the opening scene doesn't fill the viewer with hope for a climax to find a happy resolution. Like a pot of water slowly beginning to boil, so too does the pacing of the film. While it's just under 90 minutes, the film is slow but driven by the dialogue, and if you're expecting this to be a film that executes hard cuts peppered with surprising acts of violence at every turn, then you will be disappointed. The Killing of Two Lovers is reminiscent of films like A Ghost Story, with its slow pacing and dread. For the script it works very well, and any other style of filmmaking for something like this would have, in my opinion, botched the execution. It's got all the trimmings of the mumblecore genre without any of the fat or gristle, and I think that by the end of 2021, this will sit firmly amongst my favorite films to come out of this year. And as an added bonus, it's given me another director to keep my eye on from here on out. I'm giving The Killing of Two Lovers a big recommendation.